Stop it, YouTube. We're gonna make a quick video because we're doing some studying here this Sunday morning. I made some videos to post to Snapchat. And I was gonna leave it alone, and I told Snapchat I wasn't gonna post on Snapchat no more. Y'all. The topic of this one basis, like I always start, like I go on rants, so I always at least try to tell you the main topic in the video. Fuck what the caption and stuff is, because you're gonna read it and you're gonna forget all of it, you know? So I try to like all of it's real. Like you get real reaction, real time. I don't try to edit it unless I feel like it's too much, or if I curse something and I feel like that shouldn't be put out there because it was already put out there and it shouldn't be put out there in a different way. But the topic of this one is basically, we have the reason behind Sodom and Gomorrah all wrong. All wrong. Sodom and Gomorrah is definitely a beautiful story, but the reason behind Sodom and Gomorrah, we have it all wrong. Well, I'm not gonna say we have it all wrong, but most of the time of the reason I hear people saying Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed, they definitely were destroyed, but because of how vicious and insane they were. And that's proven with the story of Sodom and Gomorrah. But there is something that hit me hard as soon as I read it, because I know the story of Sodom and Gomorrah. I know the argument that Abraham had with God about what happens if it's this many. I'm back, YouTube. I'm sorry. I had a phone call and a lot of stuff. It might seem like a second to y'all, but I've been gone for like an hour or so. It's crazy. Time is fucking irrelevant. A lot has happened since the little cutscene, which is crazy. Like, Trey, future Trey that's watching this, it was a crazy conversation. I hope that it was a helpful conversation, and I hope that you guys are doing great, and I hope that the kids are okay, and that everything is good. So now that that's being said and put back out there, hey, you still don't answer, don't it? It's okay, don't answer yet. Don't do it, because what happened in the call, we can't do that. That fucked me up a little bit. Don't. Like, damn it. Nope. Okay, all right, moving on. We doing it anyways. I just said, let's not do it, and we do. Listen, God, all right, picking up where we left off. Abraham was talking to God, and it was around the time Abraham was like arguing with God. He was like, what if it's this many people and this many people and this many people? And God's like, not even. So the whole point of this video was Sodom and Gomorrah is not what it was about. If we listen to the story above, when Abraham became Abram, literally, what happened before that? Didn't Abraham or Abram go and destroy it and get his brother? You know what I'm saying? Go help to save his brother. He found out what? That they took his brother. Wasn't that a story that the kings of Sodom and Gomorrah, that they were doing all kinds of stuff and that they took his brother? Now, some people, they'll try to backdoor and they'll be like, oh, it was God retaliating for them. No. Let's read the story as the story is. Read the story as the story is. The kings and everybody were still the sons. They all still were walking with God. Noah clearly had to have taught his sons the presence of God and why he was building the ark in the first place, if Noah was walking with God, right? Right. As these generations go down and as they split, we have to still remember Sodom and Gomorrah are still the descendants of Noah. They all still pray and teach to God. Like, it's all still the same God. God wants to establish a covenant specifically with Abraham, because Abraham is following him better. Like, it's not that everybody is not following God. Abraham is now following him better than everybody else. So God is like, Abraham, I want to bring my covenant to you because I like what you're doing. And I'm here in your presence instead of over here with my other descendants. But like, even with Ishmael, he never said that Ishmael was bad. And Ishmael was with Hagar, which was a servant from a whole nother descendant. You know what I'm saying? And he still made them kings. So with that being said, God is about to leave Abraham. They're at the tree, right? We're in Genesis chapter 18. They're at the tree and they were communing with each other. It says, we're chapter 18, verse 16. Then the men rose from, this is Genesis, by the way. Then the men rose from there and looked towards Sodom, and Abram went with them to send them on their way. So God is sitting, and if you need more context, watch some other videos. I talk about the Bible. We try to break it down. We're starting up in Genesis, and we're just gonna go down and really talk about what they really talking about. So the men are with God. They get up, right? So Abraham's with them. They get up and they're walking towards Sodom and Gomorrah. And the Lord said, shall I hide from Abraham what I am doing? Since Abraham shall surely become a great and mighty nation, and all the nations of the earth shall be blessed in him. God already knows what's going on in Sodom and Gomorrah. God is talking to the angels now. Now, God is in person. Abraham has communed with him. Abraham is supposed to be God's homie now. God is talking to the angels. They get up from communing together. Abraham is communing and washed God's feet, y'all. He's communing and washed God's feet. They were communing together. Abraham was like, hey, we'll fix some cakes. God, please sit, eat with me. Don't pass your faithful servant. Please sit and eat with me. God's like, oh, all right, bet. We'll take rest here at the tree. We're sitting resting. He washed my feet. You feed me bread. God's like, okay, I'm done resting. He gets up. He looks towards Sodom. They start walking towards Sodom. Fucking Abraham gets up and they're walking towards God. He's leading, because they're clearly at the house there by the tent. He's leading them out of the area. And remember, they're in the area of Mamre. So he's leading them out the area. He's walking with their strolling. The dude's walking with God, y'all. He's walking with God, strolling. God looks at the angels. Should I tell them what we're doing? Like, and the reason I say it like that, should I tell them what we're doing? And the angels are like, maybe we should. And it's because now they're homies. Like, if you think about it, Lot was never a part of Sodom and Gomorrah. Lot was never a part of Sodom and Gomorrah. Let me say it again. Lot was never a part of Sodom and Gomorrah. God was going to save Lot no matter what. Let me say it again. God was going to save Lot no matter what. Let me say it again. God was going to save Lot no matter what. And this is the reason why. Then the men rose from there and looked toward Sodom. And Abram went with them to send them on the way. And the Lord said, shall I hide from Abram what I am going to do, since Abram shall surely be a great and mighty nation? Excuse me. Let's go down a couple more. We're going to skip a couple verses because he's just talking to them. He says, I'm sorry. I know I should have been more prepared. I should definitely have been more prepared. But basically, that goes out. The next thing I was going to go into was the conversation between Moses and God of literally, not Moses, God, Abraham and God, of literally Abraham going, God, are you surely, what if there's half of the nation are faithful to you and still follow you? Like, that's the thing. God is destroying the nation because they do not follow him and are not faithful to him. And what are God's commandments? Don't kill. Don't steal. Like God, like, you know what I'm saying? God ain't never give nobody no nothing. Hear me again. God ain't never give nobody no nothing. He ain't nobody get no commandments until they got to Mount Sinai. Ain't nobody get no commandments until they was at Mount Sinai. So if ain't nobody get no commandments until they was at Mount Sinai, means they was getting word to mouth from God himself. God was already going to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah because he wanted his covenant to be with Abraham, because Abraham followed him the closest, was the closest to God, was the closest that walked with God. They said it was walking with God. They walked with God the closest, so God gave them the covenant. That's because God was still walking the earth. Before they had religion, now think about this. They walked closest with God before the commandments were even given, which means these are men that were not in a religion that just didn't kill, didn't steal. They valued their mother and father. They were just beings that was just good people. They were just fucking good people. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? They were just fucking good people. And God chose to give them their covenant more than the other people because they weren't good people. It wasn't the fact that they were fucking gay. It was the fact that they were not good people. And God sat there and got frustrated with Abraham. Because what did Abraham do? God, if there's at least 50 people, are you going to destroy the whole town? No, Abraham. God, if there's at least 20 people, are you going to destroy the whole town? No, Abraham. God, if there's at least one person in Sodom and Gomorrah, will you destroy the whole town? No, I will not. Then if that was the case, you can really ask yourself, okay, God, you found one person. You found Lot. You found one person in Sodom and Gomorrah, but you still destroyed the whole town. And in a little bit, you clearly can see with the way they describe the story of how vicious the men of the town were to the angels, bro. That shit's crazy. And I'm not gonna fully go into that right now because that's gonna be for another video. Because I'm keeping this one short today, but that's gonna be for a video probably tomorrow or something. But fucking, they still tried to rape them angels and stuff. Even when the angels came down and Lot was bringing them into the house. When Lot saw the angels, he immediately was like, hey, you need to come in my house. The men of this town are gonna kill you. But what did Lot say? You need to come in my house because the men of this town. Lot did not claim to be from Sodom and Gomorrah. Do you hear me? Do you hear me? Lot did not claim to be from. Do you hear me? Lot was not a Sodom and Gomorrah descent. Do you hear me? Am I talking to somebody? Therefore, Lot was not the one person. Not one person was found in Sodom and Gomorrah because Lot was not from Sodom and Gomorrah. Lot came down with Abram, and then they split because their houses were becoming too big. Does somebody hear me? There was not one holy person in Sodom and Gomorrah, so God destroyed it. He told Lot, you need to get out of here and don't look back. You need to get out of here and don't look back because God's bringing the hammer down, because not one person from this place is holy to be saved. Lot was not from Sodom and Gomorrah. And ain't that crazy? That's crazy when you realize it. But yeah, universe.